Welcome back to Travel Leaders Tri-Cities Sail Away Saturdays, and boy, we are having some fun talking about one of the biggest bucket list locations in the world, the Galapagos Islands. Let's keep going.
Okay, so we have Anna with us from Celebrity Cruises. She's such an... I'm blown away with your depth of knowledge. So we're going to jump right back in and we're going to talk about what kind of vessels do you have down there? And obviously not the Celebrity Solstice. That holds, I think it's 3,000. Not that. We're going to talk about the 3 ships you do have down there and what makes each one of them unique. So the first one, go for it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So yes, we actually now are so fortunate to have 3 distinct vessels in the Galapagos Islands. So they're definitely not like our large, big cruise ships. So you kind of have to switch gears in that sense. But all 3 ships are all-inclusive. So gratuities, shore excursions, snorkeling equipment, wetsuits, all pretty much everything is included on the trip for all 3 of them. The Celebrity Expedition is our largest vessel. It's also the largest vessel allowed in the islands. It holds 100 passengers. And what some of the really key points of it is, since it's the largest vessel, lots of times in the islands, we are the only ones there. So it's kind of nice to have your own private time in the Galapagos. So here we have groups of about 16 guests per naturalist. So that's the size of groups that are heading out to the islands to visit. And it's also a great one because it has different suite options. So if you're somebody that likes to have a suite, then this is a wonderful luxury cruise. It is our award-winning mega yacht in the Galapagos. Then we have our newly acquired Celebrity Experience, which is a 48-passenger vessel. This is all ocean view staterooms. There's 24 of them, and this is more for the adventure seeker. We do offer kayaking in addition on this ship. And then we have our very special catamaran, which holds 16 guests. So now we're talking about 8 guests per naturalist. So extremely personalized service, both offshore and onshore. Kayaking is also available, and it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for charters or special celebrations. It's only 16 people. So 8 rooms there for our ocean view and for our junior suites.
Wow. And Zodiacs. You're getting in and out with Zodiacs, I read.
Yes. So the Zodiac is your main form of transportation in the Galapagos. So for embarkation and disembarkation, as well as everyday ship to shore. And then we also use them for our coastal explorations. So it is important to wear proper attire, as there are some cases where we have what we call wet landings, where you'll slide off the Zodiac. The naturalist will assist you, of course, but you may be landing in water that is as deep as up to your knees or so. I'm about 5'6", and I think for me it was mostly like to my calves, or sometimes it was only ankle deep. But it is important to be wise on what to wear.
I would think.
Well, just ride the turtle in.
There is no formal night on these ships. I'm being facetious, of course not. But
no formal nights, no formal attire. Ladies can leave their heels and formal dresses at home. It is a very casual environment.
So the naturalists come with you on whatever vessel you're on, and they become almost like a part of your family while they take you to these incredible places and point out all the flora and fauna that you're interested in. And then that night they get together with you and they discuss what you're going to see the next day.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the naturalists are with you the entire time, and they are there to share their knowledge with you, to help you enjoy, the trip, point out animals and wildlife and different plants. But the really neat thing, or what's really special to me with the naturalists, is they do this year-round. And still to this day, they get so excited when they see something. They're pointing it out. They're taking pictures. You just hear their cameras snapping away. And to me, that is incredible. The fact that these people are there year-round. They are local. They are from Ecuador. Many of them are actually born and raised in the islands. So they're showing you their home, and they are so excited to do it, and so excited to point out things to you. So I think that's definitely one of the big highlights.
I would agree with that. Well, the other thing we have to mention is that there are a lot of other South America options, not just the Galapagos, but you can package together, and you have some really incredible itineraries that will take you to some of the other highlights of South America.
Yes, that's correct. So we do have all of our packages include that 2-night pre-stay in Quito. And then on the post end, we have a 10 and 11-night package, which will add an additional 1 or 2-night stay in Quito. The way the flights work, most of the time guests will have to stay one more night at the end anyways. If not, you would have to be flying out on a red-eye, which I know is not so popular.
Not my thing.
But then we have our 13-night package, which is our brand new experiential package. And this is for those guests that really want to be immersed in the Galapagos. They'll get to stay 3 nights in Puerto Ayora, which is on the island of Santa Cruz. And there they'll have the opportunity to spend time with the agricultural community and the local fishermen. And they'll learn about challenges of living in the Galapagos, coexisting with the land, and some conservation efforts.
Wow.
And then the last package offering that we have is probably one of our more popular ones as well. And that's our 15 or 16-night option, which adds 6 or 7 nights at the end of the cruise, and this travels to Peru. So here you'll have the opportunity to visit Lima, Cusco, the Sacred Valley, and of course another big highlight, which is Machu Picchu.
So you can kill 2 bucket list items on the same trip.
Yes.
Because Machu Picchu, boy, that's been on my list for a long time, and people always say, have you been everywhere? Not that place yet. I have not. Well, let's talk about what somebody's going to pack and take with them if they're going to go on this trip. What do they have to have?
Yes, excellent question. So you want to be protected from the sun. That would be like my number 1 recommendation. So think sunscreen, hats. I like to wear long sleeve shirts. Neutral colored clothing is important. The flowers in the Galapagos are white and yellow, so those are good colors to stay away from, as mosquitoes tend to like those colors. But it would be good to also bring a lightweight rain jacket. There is one day that we go up to the highlands, and sometimes there's a light mist in the air. It's called a garua in Ecuador, but it's a light rain, so just a light jacket would work. Definitely want to wear comfortable hiking shoes if you have them, or tennis shoes. You really want to protect your feet as you're going to be walking on lava fields, boulders, on beach. If you have those wet, dry shoes, that works really nicely. And I also recommend dry fit clothing. So long sleeve SPF type shirts work really, really well, and dry fit clothing works well. And of course, bathing suits. At least 2, so you don't have to put on a wet bathing suit.
Right. So, cameras, memory cards. I would be terrified that take more than your phone with you, I would think.
Absolutely, yes. So
I think you want a real camera.
Wildlife makes you look like a professional photographer, but definitely bring lots of memory and space for your digital cameras. I also would recommend, if you're somebody that likes underwater world and snorkeling, GoPros work really nicely, and the sea lions will come right up to you. They have no fear of you, and they'll just kind of put on a show for you. So you'll get some really incredible footage down under too.
That is fabulous. Okay, wow. So there's 2 seasons down there.
Yes, there's 2 seasons, and it's differentiated more by a dry season and a wet season. So again, it doesn't downpour in the Galapagos like it does here in South Florida or in other parts of the world. But there is that garua mist, and that tends to happen more between January through June. The drier season is between July through December. But really, there isn't a bad time to visit.
I just have, I must be thinking Antarctica. I have this vision in my head of glaciers and cold. That is not what we're talking about.
No, we're right in the middle. We're right on the equator.
Wow, so it could be warm, like really warm.
Really, really warm. Yeah, definitely. Again, a protection from the sun is probably your most important to think of.
I guess. Okay, what about documentation other than a passport?
So you definitely need a passport, and you need to be sure that that passport does not expire 6 months from your return date of the trip. That's really important. And there are no visa requirements to visit Ecuador for U.S. or Canadian citizens.
Okay, so no visa required.
Mm-mm.
You have to show a return airline ticket?
No.
Okay.
You don't. Well, you should have your return airline ticket, but nobody's going to ask for that. Your Galapagos National Park entrance fee and your tourist card fee, if they book the 10-night or longer package, will already be taken care of.
Well, does anybody book anything less than 10 nights? We're not talking about a thing that's like in the next door over. We're talking about a pretty significant trip.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, and the flights are complicated. We do offer just a 7-night cruise. We have 6 unique itineraries that we offer, and you can certainly just book the 7 nights, but we simply recommend doing the 10 nights so that it's an all-inclusive, seamless, celebrity-style experience. If you do the 7 night, you have to do your homework.
Yeah, because not all the flights operate on the days that you need them to go, and everything needs to be coordinated. Of course, we would help you with that, but it really is better if we let Celebrity do it. You guys have been doing this, as you mentioned, for 12 years now. Mm-hmm. You've been down there. You have forged relationships with the naturalists, with the parks, and I have to mention you have a scientist that you've been working with.
Yes, so we have a Dr. Ellen Prager who has vetted all of our excursions, and we work very, very closely with her. She is a world-renowned marine biologist and oceanographer, and we're very, very fortunate to have her. She really makes sure that we always have our science on point, and that we're accurate with all of our facts and all of our things. So we're very thankful to her, and she really is. She's a wonderful person.
So I'm ready to go. I have some personal questions, though. Okay, so on board, I mean, it sounds to me like during the day, yes, you're doing your thing. You could be kayaking. You could be Zodiacing. You're wearing pretty casual, mountain geary kind of clothes. But in the evening, I mean, I read that all of your food is designed by Michelin chef, and you're pretty luxury, really, in a casual way.
Exactly, and I'm glad you said that. So yes, it definitely it's a very laid-back environment. However, we do keep that Celebrity Cruises standard there. So we do believe in that modern luxury. We do believe that you should be comfortable and have a luxurious stateroom when you get back after a long day. So absolutely, our menus are crafted by a Michelin-starred chef, Cornelius. But also, really important to point out is we do maintain that the designer decor and all of that, and we believe that is important. And at the end of the day, we are Celebrity Cruises.
Yes, and there are other ways that you could probably visit the Galapagos, but I'm not one for tents, and
no,
I don't rough it. And this sounds like exactly the way that you should go. That is for sure. Okay, so you said that everything is pretty all-inclusive. So that's going to include almost everything. You said even your shore excursions. Now,
yes,
there are some
that is
extras.
Correct. So your excursions are all included, your wetsuits, the gear. I think it's easier to say what's not included.
Yes, what's
because
not?
Pretty much everything is included. So what's not included is the international flight to Quito. If you purchase travel insurance, which we always recommend that you do, if you do, maybe have some small cash, the currency in Ecuador is U.S. dollars. For souvenir shopping, I know that everyone likes to go out there and purchase some local souvenirs. On all of our itineraries, we have at least a day to visit a place that has the opportunity to buy some souvenirs to bring back home. And then Celebrity Expedition, for example, does have massage services available, so those would be additional. But everything else is included.
Travel insurance is an extra.
Yes.
I would never tell anybody to go around the block without travel insurance.
Agreed, 100%.
So, needless to say, Travel Leaders sells travel insurance, and we will make sure that we make that available to you. You've told us about the pre- and post packages. Those are going to be packaged into what you're doing, and you would pay for that, but they are optional.
Correct.
Okay. And let's see, what did I not cover? Oh, your stewardship program, which is hugely important. So let's zip through that real fast.
Sure. So the entire Galapagos experience really does practice the highest levels of environmental stewardship. In fact, we've done so much to leave these islands virtually untouched that Ecuador's Secretary of Tourism holds Celebrity Cruises as the standard of excellence for reducing our carbon footprint. And this is just so important so that future generations can visit as well.
I think we did it. Can you believe we got through the whole list? Wow. So for those people sitting out there thinking, okay, I'm interested in this, you please come to Travel Leaders, come through our door, and let us share this amazing opportunity with you. Anya, you've been a wow.
Yes.
I mean, when the rep put me in touch with you,
I'll definitely call your Travel Leaders.
Yes.
We would love to have you and host you in the Galapagos Islands. I promise that it'll be a life-changing trip.
I am sure that it will be. Thank you so much for the call in.
Yes, thank you very much. And, well, if that didn't wet your whistle for traveling, I'm not sure what will.
Really?
Till next time, join us for another edition of Travel Leaders Tri-Cities Sail Away Saturdays, only on News Talk 870.